how officers get paid for bringing in the contraband, cigarettes, makeup, whatever the girl wants. How do they get paid? Because let's be real, there's only two ways of payment: money and the old nookie. I spent 10 years in a female prison, so I'm gonna tell you guys how it goes down. Okay, the first way we know, good old hard cash. Now, an inmate might actually get cash and stuff it in their Cuda pocket sack pack down there, you know, their suitcase, their purse. She might put it up in her somewhere, $20 bill, $100 bill, a $50 bill, and she might carry it around in the prison, and then she might pay the officer cash. If she can't actually give the officer cold hard cash because she doesn't have it, then what'll happen is the officer will give a Cash App or a PayPal. Then that girl's family will end up sending that officer, it's usually like his girlfriend or his neighbor, somebody that can't be traced back to him, they will send that person the money. The girl will get on the phone and be like, hey, I need you to send a $500 Cash App. And then the family member will do it, or the sugar daddy, or whoever the girl has on the outside. The officer will get his money. The other way is the good old, most long-standing profession payment system that has ever existed from biblical times, okay? We all know what I'm talking about. We're talking about payment in the form of, okay? Or in the form of bam, 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 like that. If you get paid in that way, then the officer is going to call you for some kind of special assignment. Like, let's say they need you to do a biohazard cleaning, or they need you to do laundry, or they need you to go out on like a late run with the buggy to collect property. They need to take you to the property room, but they're going to take you somewhere that has no cameras and there's no other staff around. And it's usually going to be like on the weekend or late at night when there's not a lot of staff members that are out and about. They're going to take you to that spot and you already know what's up. Like, if you guys have already discussed it, then you already know what's up. You're already doing it. You're down. Like, they're not going to take advantage of you and just force you. I'm not saying that that's never happened, but I'm just saying in this situation, it's a trade. You go with them to whatever location they're taking you to, and you do what you got to do. And it's really kind of sad, because a lot of the times the stuff that this officer is bringing in is like lip gloss, bubble gum, some eyeshadow, maybe a couple cigarettes. It's just really not things that, even if you think it's okay, even if you do that kind of work out in the street, like, you're not going to feel good about what you're getting in return. It's usually something that leads to a really destructive mindset and really low self-esteem, and they're going to do you dirty, and that's just how it goes. Those are the two ways officers get paid in a Florida State female prison if they bring in contraband to the girlies. Love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Later. I spent 10 years in a female prison, and a maximum security one at that. And let me just tell you guys, if y'all knew how much money these corrupt prison officers were making bringing in cigarettes to the girls, holy moly, they could retire. I'm gonna tell you guys about it because it's insanity how much they're making. If an officer brings in a carton of cigarettes, he or she is going to get paid $500. Out of that $500, he or she is going to have spent $20, because they're gonna buy the cheapest, nastiest cigarettes there are. So they're gonna pocket $480 every single time they bring in a carton. Now, say they bring in a carton of cigarettes 4 times a week. That's $480 times 4. Every week, they're making that amount of money. How many weeks are in a year? Times that by how much they're making a week, and baby, you just got yourself a retirement. Everybody's banking. Everybody's rolling in the dough. The inmate, which I haven't even talked about their prices yet, the inmate selling their cigarettes and they're making a killing. The officers selling their cigarettes and making a killing. Everybody's making a killing, and they're all working together. Do you really think that officer cares about their little correctional officer job anymore? No, they're making 3, 4, 5 times what they make. Imagine that they work at multiple prisons and they're bringing them in to the men's institution. They're working overtime in the female institution, and they have several people. Imagine they're bringing in 8 cartons a week. So you might be wondering, how does the officer bring these cartons in? Well, it's very simple. We'll just cut the filter off and wrap it really tight. But there's only a couple places the cigarettes are going to enter in. One of the places is taped up right behind the ball sack. They're going to tape them right back there. The next place is they will drop those cigarettes in a thermos of soup or juice or something like that, some kind of liquid, or they will put it in between a sub and put all kinds of toppings and sauces and stuff on the sub and wrap the sub up. Because if somebody's searching you, especially your coworker, yeah, you go through the x-ray machine, whatever, but like, they're not going to go through your sub. They're not going to dig around in your soup thermos, okay? And they're definitely not going to touch around behind your balls. These officers know what days to bring it in on. They know who's working, who's lazy, who's not touching your balls, who's not looking through your soup, who's not shaking the canister. They know all of this. So they bring it in on the right day. Either way it goes, when you're offered this amount of money to bring in some cigarettes, there's not many people that say no. Just a little tidbit of knowledge for y'all. I love you. See y'all later. Deuces. What happens if you go to prison with acrylic nails, weave, braces, contacts, or piercings? From somebody who did 10 years in a female prison, I'm gonna tell you guys, if you go into prison with anything, whether it's medical or cosmetic, you're up shit creek, okay? They're not gonna do anything for you. They're gonna cut those piercings out. They're gonna make you throw your contacts away unless you hide them and get away with it for a few months, but then they're gonna shrivel up and die. They're gonna make you rip your nails off, and they're gonna make you take your hair out. And if you don't take it out because you can't, or you can't take your nails off, they're going to rip them or cut them off. So they're not going to let you in the prison with anything that's feminine or cosmetic or even medical, because they're not going to maintain the upkeep. When it comes to braces, they're going to let you rot until you push the issue, and then they'll send you somewhere, probably just right there at the dentist office. They're not going to send you to an orthodontist, and they're going to just rip off the brackets with pliers and hope for the best, hope you can eat. But you're not going to keep anything, and that's 100%. Like, you're not keeping anything. So if you want to stay pretty and you want to stay dolled up with all your stuff, don't go to prison. Make good choices, okay? Because they're not going to look out for you. So love you guys. I spent 10 years in prison, and one of the most dangerous things that you can do inside and get really seriously hurt by another inmate is hit on somebody's girlfriend. And when I say hit on somebody's girlfriend, I mean, you may not even know that you're hitting on somebody's girlfriend, but you could do the wrong thing that could be perceived the wrong way. And I'm gonna give you guys a couple examples, and literally get your face sliced, filleted open, okay? Get your skull bashed in with one of those big master locks, or something worse, like literally, if you can even imagine worse. First, let's just get this out there. In female prison, all this stuff about checking paperwork and what your charges are, all that shit doesn't exist, okay? I'm just keeping it real with you guys. The most common reason for violence is literally domestic, okay? There isn't a lot of violence outside domestic violence in prison. So in other words, there's not a lot of fights that happen if it's not because of a girlfriend situation. Yes, there's some fights because of stealing and disrespect and property and things like that, but most of the fights in prison are because of girlfriend issues. You tried my girlfriend, you cheated with my girlfriend, you like my girlfriend likes you. Any of those. Now, you have to be really careful, because in prison, especially if you're new and you don't know who belongs to whom, you could quite literally be walking down the sidewalk somewhere, minding your business, and just want to know where the library is, and say, hey, excuse me, do you know where the library is? But that person you just asked has a girlfriend who's 10 feet behind them because they were out the door. They were running late, okay? They were out the door after them. And all of a sudden, that girlfriend who's 10 feet behind just saw you tap the girl, because maybe you're just like a touchy-feely person. You're just like, hey, where's the library? Now you've got a problem. That girl's going to confront you. And when she confronts you and you say, oh no, I was just looking for the library, like I have no idea what you're talking about, it matters nothing how sincere you are, how truthful you're being. It doesn't matter at all. What matters is that you touched that girl and that you spoke to her. Now, even if you don't touch her, it doesn't matter. You spoke to her. Why are you speaking to someone's girlfriend? This is a huge problem. Another way that you can get caught up without even knowing it is by asking somebody to borrow something. So say you need a mayonnaise, like literally a mayonnaise pack, and you go ask somebody, hey, can I borrow a mayonnaise pack? I'll give it back to you Wednesday. If that person has a girlfriend, their girlfriend's going to come for you. They're going to come, and they're going to want to know why out of everybody in that dorm or in that vicinity, you asked their girlfriend for the mayonnaise pack. What's your motive? Why did you target their girlfriend? Because you guys have to remember, in prison, everything has some kind of ulterior motive, and people are going to look for it. And if they don't find it, they're going to make it up. Okay, so you're screwed. And the thing is, when you answer, you could be totally sincere in what you're answering, and it could be so innocent, it doesn't matter. Don't talk to people until you have verified if they have a girlfriend or not, okay? Another way you can get caught, because you might just say, oh, like, I'm just not going to talk to anybody. I'm just not going to go out of my way and ask anybody anything or talk to anybody until I know who's who and what's what. It's a very good idea in theory, but you could be literally sitting in the day room, all of you guys watching a show. While you guys are all watching that show, something funny could happen in the show, and you could laugh, and then somebody next to you could be laughing, and you guys could look at each other because you're both laughing because you both think it's really funny, and as you guys both look at each other, you lock eyes for like 1/2 of a millisplit second. When you lock eyes, the girlfriend sitting next to that girl is going to start in. Why are you looking at her? Why the hell why that be looking at you? What the hell's going on? Oh, y'all came in here to watch this show together? Try to slide undercover, watch this show together? Y'all creeping, y'all think you're slick, y'all think you're smart? I'm telling you, that is exactly what will happen. I shit y'all not. So, I just want you guys to know that one of the most dangerous things you can do to put yourself right smack in the line of fire, knowing or not knowing, is talk, look, or interact with somebody's girlfriend in prison. You cannot be a hermit crab. You cannot isolate yourself the whole time you're there. You just can't live like that, okay? Especially if you have a lengthier sentence. But what you can do is figure out who has a girlfriend and who doesn't. That way you don't make the mistake that could end up getting you seriously hurt, because I have seen girls' faces get filleted open, people beat into unconscious states with locks over their head. I have seen people get things thrown in their face like hot boiling mayonnaise. I have seen pencils go through people's flesh. It's just really, really dangerous, and you got to be careful, okay? So in a Florida State female prison, one of the most dangerous things you can do is literally have an interaction with somebody's girlfriend. It's not your charges. It's not how much time you have. It's not what your record is. It's not what race you are. It's none of that. It's literally interacting with another female, even if it's innocent. Hopefully none of you guys will ever need this, but hey, knowledge is power. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Later. What happens if you refuse to take a shower in a female prison? Besides being stank as hell, you can get in a lot of trouble. I spent 10 years in a Florida State female prison. I've been out a few years. I'm going to tell you guys what actually goes down, because it's actually a rule and you cannot break it. In the rule book in Florida State female prisons, you have to bathe and shower and keep your hygiene up. It has to be kept up. And if you start to smell, either an officer is going to smell you, or an inmate, whoever's in the room with you, is going to smell you and tell on you. First, the officer will come to you privately and ask you, why are you not showering? Why are you not taking care of your hygiene? If you tell them that, hey, you're embarrassed, you don't want to be in an open shower with 8 other women that you've never met washing your cootie pocket, you're genuinely worried that being naked puts you in such a vulnerable position that you could get hurt. And you just don't want to get in the shower because you're terrified. They will likely understand you and try to give you a time where you can shower after hours or before the showers are on, when nobody else is in there. They're going to give you a couple chances, and then they're going to call the boys on you, okay? Now, what I mean when I say call the boys is they're going to call the prison SWAT. The boys are like the prison SWAT team. They're going to strap you down to a chair. They're going to take your clothes off however they need to, whether it's taking them off, with your help, or cutting them off. They're going to sit you under the water, and baby, you're going to get clean. And if they have to go through all that to get you in the shower and get your ass clean, they're giving you a DR, and you're going to solitary confinement for at least 30, 60, or 90 days, okay? Disobeying a verbal order and fighting back. Not good things. But either way it goes, you're not going to be stank up in the prison. Okay. Too many risks of infections, diseases. The living quarters are too close. So whether an officer smells you or whether an inmate tells on you, when they find out that you're stank, you're getting your butt in the shower or you're going to solitary confinement. Either way, you're showering, baby. This process is going to continue to go on and on and on until your ass decides to get in the shower on your own. There's absolutely no way in a Florida State female prison that you're going to get away with not showering for too long. So that is what happens if you refuse to take a shower in a Florida State female prison. Yes, you get put in the chair. Or you can tell them the truth if there is a truth. And hopefully get put in a dorm with single shower stalls, okay? But bottom line, you're not going to be stank. You're not. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Later. I spent 10 years in prison. I've been out a few years. And while I don't condone fighting, if you have a prison sentence, especially a long one, you're probably going to fight. These are things that have to be kept in mind and have to be done if you're going to fight, and if you're going to fight successfully. Number one, if you're engaged in an active beef or situation, conflict with somebody, you do not walk around freely in Crocs or prison slides. If someone has it out for you, they're going to try to run up on you when you're most vulnerable and when it's unexpected. So if you're caught in Crocs or slides, you're not going to have a good grip on the ground. You're not going to have good balance, and they're probably going to get the better of you, and they're going to look for that. So most of the time, you need to be wearing boots or sneakers. Next, being that we are females, every female is going to say they're not going to go for the hair. They don't go for the hair. Only, soft girls fight like that. But let me tell y'all something. Every chick goes for the hair. It's like innate. I don't know. We can't help it, but they go for the hair, okay? So if you have a lot of hair or long hair, you don't want to get, run up on and snatch by the back of the ponytail. I can't tell you how many times I saw people run up, grab the back of someone's ponytail or bun, and drag them straight to the ground. And now you just don't have good positioning. So you must always, and when I say always, I mean always, baby, walk around with a very tight, low, military style, category 5, can't move this thing, prison bun, okay? It's a low bun, it's very tightly wound, and it must be worn until the conflict resolves itself. When you shower, you're going to utilize the buddy system, okay? You don't want to shower alone because shower is a time when, you have soap on your face, your eyes are closed, your back is turned, you're wet, there's a lot of tile, a lot of hard surfaces in there, and nobody is above running up to you while you're in the shower and dragging you, okay? They're going to be clothed with shoes on and you're not. So you absolutely want to have somebody that you trust and has your back in the shower with you, at least just hanging out on the other side of the wall with sneakers or boots on, fully dressed, ready to aid you if you need it and someone decides to get froggy and jump in there, okay? To piggyback off of that, everyone's going to always say, oh, the fights are going to be fair. We don't fight dirty. But the truth of the matter is fighting is not fair, okay? So utilizing that buddy system, you want to make sure that if you're the buddy, it's a one-on-one fair fight until your friend is losing. And if your friend at any point is losing and they're getting the better of them, you must jump in. Fair or not, you have to jump in. This one right here will break up friendships hardcore. It's serious. Yes, you're all going to go to confinement if you get caught. But if you choose to back your friend up and watch out for them when you know they have an active conflict, you need to be willing to jump in, because if they're losing, you're going to have to jump in. It's just politics. This one's kind of obvious, but we're going to say it. So you don't ever want to be in a position where you're somewhere that you can't get out. Your back's up against a wall and there's no exit for you. If someone runs up on you and you're backed up against a wall, you really don't have an out. So you want to make sure, if you're engaged in active beef with somebody, that you're not ever in a position that you're stuck, okay? Don't decide you need to go take a dump or something in a back stall by yourself, because if somebody gets you back there, you're done data. Last but certainly not least, you guys are not going to probably like this one. I don't even like this one, but you need to always carry around something like a pen or a lock or something that you can defend yourself with, because like I said, fights are not fair. And if you have to defend yourself because the fight turns out to be really not fair, you need to have something to defend yourself. I mean, you have to protect yourself. So you need to walk around with something that's not going to get you in trouble. Like, you don't want to walk around with a straight blade, but you need to have something where you can defend yourself if you need to. Only if you need to, though. The truth of the matter is, a fighting DR, which that's how you get in trouble, a fighting DR is like 30 days at best. So if somebody really has it out for you, they're going to eat the 30 days. Whether you guys get caught or not, they're going to fight. So it's important to be prepared, to have your head on a swivel, and to know what you're doing, because it's probably going to happen at least one time during your sentence. I'm praying none of you ever end up in this position, and I have confidence that you won't. But if you do, just know that these are very important rules, politics, and etiquette when it comes to fighting, especially in a female prison, okay? I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Later.